Hey, what's going on, everyone? Thank you for tuning in and checking out my latest video. So in today's video, guys, I want to talk about the upcoming matchup between Ohara Davies versus Josh Taylor taking place in Scotland. Now, this is a great fight for the sport of boxing because we have two up-and-coming prospects who normally we see in the sport of boxing, managers, promoters, they like to build the fighters and they don't like to put them in any true tests until later on in their career. And this is a fight that a lot of people thought would happen maybe 2 years down the road. So I'm really glad that both of these young fighters, we're going to see both of them compete against each other to see who's better so early in their career. And the real winner in this fight is going to be boxing fans. And this is a fight I commend both fighters for taking, both management teams. It's something that we really need in the sport of boxing. And whoever loses this fight really is going to have a brilliant career, in my opinion. So I just want to throw that out there to start the video. Now, when I look at this fight and I break down both of these fighters, I'm going to talk about some advantages I feel both have over one another and skills both possess. So with no further ado, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Now, looking at this fight, let's first start off with Ohara Davies and what he brings to the table in this matchup. So Ohara Davies has a very long frame. He's got an awkward style that's hard to compete against. As he's progressed through the ranks, he's a guy who I've seen start to really be more patient, become more calm as a fighter, and be more accurate as a puncher, really picking his spots and thinking more effectively inside the ring. He's a guy who's always had a very nice, powerful jab with his frame. That's a deadly weapon. Power in that right hand as well. He's a guy who just overall carries power as a fighter, extremely confident in his skills. He displays some good body work at times as well. So Ohara Davies really is quite a good fighter, and this is why I cannot wait for this fight. Now let's look at Josh Taylor and what he brings to the table in this matchup. Josh Taylor, I would say, is a very well-rounded prospect. When I look at him as a fighter, he's a guy who has hand speed, vicious body puncher. He's a guy who also has some movement. He's improved his defense, I believe, as fights continue. Um, Also, when I look at Josh Taylor, this is a guy with some combination punching, amateur pedigree, and he does a very good job of mixing up headshots to the body as well. So good combination puncher and very good at setting up things. Like I said, he feints up top, goes to low to the body, and that's a deadly weapon for Josh Taylor. Trains with a very good gym, Shea McGuigan's gym, with fighters like George Groves, Carl Frampton. I know he sparred Sean Porter when they were out there in Las Vegas for that card versus Leo Santa Cruz. So he's got some very good experience and trains with a very well-rounded team. Now, when I look at this fight and I look at some advantages that both fighters have over one another, let me first start off with Ohara Davies and what advantages I believe he has in this fight. Ohara Davies, I believe, is actually the better counterpuncher of the two fighters. I believe he's a little more patient than Josh Taylor is as a fighter. I think a little more patient at times. Also, I believe that Ohara Davies has the harder style to figure out, in my opinion, just with his frame, the way he sets up punches. He's awkward. He's more awkward of the two fighters, I would say, in my opinion, looking at both of their styles. Also, Ohara Davies, in my opinion, I believe he has a better win on his resume than anyone Josh Taylor has. Even though Darren Matthews was faded and past his prime in that fight, Ohara Davies destructed him. And a guy like Darren Matthews, even though he is past his prime, this guy is an extremely tough fighter, a veteran, has been in a ton of fights. So that was a great experience for Ohara Davies. And that type of opponent is not on Josh Taylor's record, in my opinion. Also, I believe that when someone has a fighter hurt, I believe that Ohara Davies is a better finisher than Josh Taylor, in my opinion. He'll take more risks, he'll be more aggressive, and he's got that really killer instinct that he smells blood and he takes out the fighter that he's in against. And that's something that Ohara Davies has very well. Whenever you see him get a guy hurt, he absolutely destroys these guys and takes them out. Whereas Josh Taylor, I was at his last fight in Las Vegas. I felt that he could have stopped that guy earlier or definitely knocked him down a couple of times or really made a statement against that type of fighter that he was up against. He really dominated the gentleman in Las Vegas, but I felt that Taylor could have stopped him. Um, and that's just something that I thought I'd bring up in this matchup when looking at both of these fighters. Now, when I look at the advantages Josh Taylor has in this fight, I believe he has the better footwork of the two. He has a better hand speed. He's a better combination puncher. I believe slightly better defense as well, in my opinion, when you look at these two fighters. And a huge factor for me, guys, when I'm picking this matchup is a couple of factors. I'm going to lean with Josh Taylor in this matchup to win this fight. Number one, his amateur pedigree is a lot better than Ohara Davies. I really think that's a big thing in such a close fight like this. I would lean in this matchup 60-40 towards Josh Taylor. Another reason is this is a Cyclone promotion show in Scotland. That may affect the judging in this fight, in my opinion. If it's a close fight, Josh Taylor will win this matchup. But overall, I just think he's a little more well-rounded than Ohara Davies as a fighter. That's just my opinion, guys. Let me know what you guys think. I think Josh Taylor wins this fight an 8-4 round-wise in this matchup and wins a unanimous decision in Scotland. Both of these guys incredibly talented. It's going to be a great fight. Definitely tune in. Unfortunately, I'll be working, so I'm going to have to watch a fight the next day. Very disappointing and sucks. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting matchup. And yeah, I can't wait for this fight. Let me know what you guys think on the matchup. If you're familiar with these two guys, give me your pick, guys. Thank you very much.